construction method in building these houses, and your guy being your money source being Richard in the building industry.
Yeah, he's a developer as well. Yeah.
Well, we can make his cost of concrete 20% less and lighter because you're using less of it, and we can make it stronger, last longer, and become the whole thing become a power
Electrified. Yeah.
source.
The biggest thing, Richard, if you're building in California with the earthquakes and all the major disaster events you're having, including fire,
Hmm.
this is the best product in the world to use because we have CAL FIRE ratings. We have Miami-Dade, the toughest rating you can get in the country for building approvals,
Hmm.
and it's a pretty awesome product. Uh,
And
we
they have proof of concept built in Miami, Richard.
what we have in our new technology, Richard, is we have put together a panel system that is basically put together with graphene material. That graphene material is very important because it's one of the newest materials in the world. And that graphene material is a superconductor for electricity. So essentially, it's called BESS. That's Best Energy Storage System. Our entire house becomes a battery and provides electricity for the home, and also that can be it's sold on the grid. It's totally 100% self-sufficient. So it's something we're really excited over, and we're getting ready to launch it pretty close all over the world. And so that's what we're in the process right now of looking some private equity to come in to help us expand and move our product forward.
Right. Now, are you familiar with the company Visarion?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you last.
Versarien?
I am not. No.
Okay. The reason why I bring that up is they have an infrastructure design. I'm familiar with graphene, and
Right.
they're a flagship partner that has the first 3D printed construction using graphene enhanced
Right.
concrete. So
Sure.
basically, they use a 3D printer model that helps to delineate the structure or foundation using not only the graphene infused concrete,
Right.
but also 3D printing, which helps with creating the blocks or the building
Well,
blocks of that.
we have a patent on our patented material,
Hmm.
and we're making graphene out of biodegradable material.
Gotcha.
And, uh, and that's pretty close. You can't get any better than that in terms of expense in dollars. And there's
And
there's plenty of it. So
yeah. And what is your X model of strength from regular concrete to your infused graphene concrete? How many X is it? And
it's
mhm.
it's 2x on rebar, 3x on concrete.
Okay, okay,
We have green rebar as well.
okay. Gotcha. Apologize, but I just wanted to. Um, and then as far as your operations, Garcon was mentioning that you're also looking to expand or scale your company.
We're
Or mhm.
we
Go
are
ahead.
doing that. We're currently doing a lot of operations in Puerto Rico.
Hmm.
We have a lot of projects that are on board. There's close to over 720 homes there.
Hmm.
We're working with a joint venture with a multinational partner in Kenya for 50,000 homes,
Hmm.
all paid for by the U.S. government.
Hmm.
5,000 homes to start. We've got opportunities here in the United States, 474 houses we're doing in South Carolina for Veterans Administration, another 300 for cities surrounding Columbia, South Carolina,
Hmm.
and we're just getting started.
Hmm.
So yeah, we're scaling up pretty quick, and our capital raise is got to come.
Hmm. What's your EBITDA at the moment?
We're making 20+% on our investments. So
Mm.
specifically on our homes, our model of 1,400 square foot home in Puerto Rico, we're making anywhere from $30,000 to $45,000 each.
Mm. Nice. Nice. And this is all domestic pretty much, except for the project that you mentioned in Kenya, correct?
That's correct.
Mm. And okay.
We've had a ton of inquiries from California, but we hadn't been able to do anything over
Penetrate.
there because
Yeah.
of capital.
Yeah. It but I do see a market for this. I do see, and you mentioned that you have a patent pending or
No, we have patents on everything
patent.
that we do.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. And what's your website, by the way?
It's buildparmastrong.com.
Bill Palmerstrom. Okay. Okay. And you've been in
And
operation for how many years now? Under
3 years.
3 years. Okay.
Right.
Okay. And how much are you hemorrhaging per year in
We're
cash
not
flow?
hemorrhaging anything.
No.
We're net positive. Not a lot, but we faced COVID, we faced hurricanes, we faced earthquakes in Puerto Rico where all our buildings going on.
And
So
your buildings are also infused with the graphene. That's why they stood the test of time.
yes, correct.
Mm. Are you working with any major concrete manufacturers domestically or internationally?
And, internationally, we're working with Elementia.
Mm-hmm.
Elementia has been our supply chain partner,
Mm-hmm.
and they are, of course, owned by Carlos Slim and Andre De Valle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And then as far as thank you for some of that history and educating me on your establishment. Let me ask this: what are you looking for as far as infused capital for your organization, and how will it be purposed, and how do you plan on scaling those funds to?
Well,
Mhm.
to answer your question, we had our country, another company was international group was buying our company. They were buying it for $9 million and putting in $20 million availability for construction.
Mhm.
And so right at the last minute when we got to it, they couldn't show us proof of funds
Mm.
enough to handle that. So now we're back out on the market. I'm in New
Mhm.
York with meetings Thursday and Friday of this week.
Mhm.
And I knew Garson, and he'd been working on our project. And so I sent him a copy of our latest information deck that we
Mhm.
have and asked him if he knew anybody. Be
Mhm.
glad to talk to him.
Mm. Okay. And would you be in a position to send that deck over?
Yeah, I'll send you as I said earlier, I'll send you all those
Yeah,
emails.
exactly.
You can have all the due diligence you need.
Right. And let me ask this. Would this be how would this be structured in your best opinion? An equity or a share? How would you like this structured just from your
Equity would be the ideal situation.
debt? Okay, equity. And then what are you looking to give up in equity and for what dollar amount? Just
Well, it depends. Let me tell you the structure of the company.
please.
The patent, when it was brought to us, had over $3.6 million into it for its development. And it was developed by a group of retired individuals who are all in their 80s.
Mm-hmm.
And so consequently, those people are getting older.
Mm-hmm.
So I took that and had in the presentation, the high value on the patent was $21 million, third party evaluation. And you'll
Mm-hmm.
see that in the deck.
In the deck, yeah.
Right.
As we talk, I'm gonna start sending you stuff, Richard.
Thank you.
So we're open to discussions on any situation on how to make this work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I got you. But in a perfect state, I'm just trying to get your.
Well, in a perfect state, if I was somebody's shoes, I would do what these other people do. They want to come in and buy the company outright and take over the business units.
But you don't want to give away your baby, do you? Or anything's for sale. Is that your model?
Everything. Let me
except the
back up
wife.
again. Hey, don't push me on that one today.
Mhm,
These are older, elderly people. And I want you to understand that.
mhm.
And so consequently, they're open to any major offer that would come by, we would present to them.
Okay. And then who would run or scale up the operation? Do you have in-house? Because
We have in-house, my people have in-house master's degrees. They're all there, and myself. And
mhm,
I've handled three major corporations. I was senior executive at Shell Oil,
mhm,
and I've developed all this business.
mhm,
Last year, I had to turn down, I had $367 million worth of guaranteed construction.
mhm.
I went to an international construction firm that was working with me, and they said, Paul, we're going to raise some money through New York. I got a prime, and this person dragged her feet
Mm,
until we lost that deal. So
jeez.
I'm not, it's not for lack of business development we can get. We've got tons of it, but we can only do what we can support.
Right.
And right now we can't support that. And I can't sign contracts with something
That you
that
don't have. Yeah.
will never happen.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I would love to. And I've been in this green space for decades now,
Right.
and it is my passion. So
Um, let me
I like
ask.
that too.
Yeah. No, I
You can,
understand, Grosso. This is if everything checks out, this sounds pretty promising as far as the technology. Now, there was another
right.
component that Garcon mentioned, and that is storage of energy within the block infrastructure. Can you speak to that,
Yes.
or yeah, please?
Well, we have the person that helped that developed this, Ray Rubio, is an electrical engineer. He's world class and well known. We're working with processes in several areas, everything from the Department of Defense down to we're doing concrete roadways in Colombia.
Hmm.
So the versatility of this product is unbelievable of what it can obtain,
Hmm.
even into clothing. And so the department, we've got one grant we're working with a person in Washington for the Department of Defense, which is pretty interesting. I don't know if you're familiar with the Havana syndrome. That is the electronic pulse that attacked our embassies and put everybody pretty much deaf. Well, they're scared to death of it. And our system will block those electronic rays coming through it. So we're after $100 million grant in connection with two other guys. The person who runs it has an SBI R3, which means he's capable to getting a $100 million grant and going straight to manufacturing without any other thing.
Wow.
So we do have aviation. Uh, uh, I just
I
I
yeah.
get so excited when you mention alternative sources.
Right.
We're working with a Major General used to of the Air Force for
Hmm.
procurement, who's head of research and development at Mississippi State University. They're
Hmm.
looking at it in their automotive programs, in their aeronautical programs. DoD has multiple uses for it.
Hmm.
It's already been the graphene segment has already been tested by DoD and
Right.
passed with flying colors.
Right.
So there's a lot of story here. Yes, the biggest thing is the delivery system is perma-strong.
Right. It's interesting that you said a grant writer. I have a grant writer in my back pocket, but she is older. She's almost 80. She's
Yeah,
80 something years old.
I have a
yeah,
Um,
grant, two grant writers I can bring you.
yeah.
yeah.
Um,
So
Yeah.
that's the old group that understands you got to understand how to write.
You have to
So,
understand. She's done over $1 billion worth of grant writing
yeah.
in electricity, uh, uh, technology. Um, so,
Well, the other thing I wanted, all of these houses we have are guaranteed. The Puerto
and what's
Rican
that?
government will buy everything from us, and they're providing vouchers for all the buyers.
Mm,
In the same in Kenya. Uh, the Kenyan president visited the United States 3 weeks ago, and Joe Biden gave him $180 million for housing.
Mhm.
That's in addition to their fund that they already have there.
Mhm.
And I got a breakdown on how it works. Everything you do is guaranteed.
Mm. Yeah. Um, let me do this. Let me,
Paul, is what you sent me on the 17th the same as the 15th? I'm getting confused with all these emails I have.
Yeah, what I sent you was the deck. You have that, and then I think I may have just sent you the cognitive resourcing deal that we're using as well. I'll have to go back and see, Garcia.
Okay, well, Richard, I'm gonna just send it all to you, and you'll have to do a little sorting.
thank you, sir.
Are you there?
Yeah, I said thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Okay.
Okay, let me know if you need any further information. Just give me a call.
As far as structuring, let me, once I have this information, I'll review it. Garcon,
Right.
and then we can do a follow-up discussion. How soon are you looking to infuse capital? So I have
Yes.
the right expectation.
Basically yesterday, because we have projects ready that are shovel ready to go in Puerto Rico right now
Okay,
that we're going to lose within 45 days if we don't get started.
gotcha.
And
And
just those two products will generate 4.6 million net in capital.
how much are you looking for again? Capital? Just an estimation.
Well, the first.
What would you like to have? Let me say it that
I
way.
would like to have access to $12 million to roll in and out of. We don't want $12 million. And these projects that we have, we're doing ourselves in Puerto Rico. The ones in the United States are already funded, and we maintained a 30% upfront cash deposit in place before we get started. So that covers basically our materials. The only thing we need is operating capital. In terms of investments, you'll see that 75% of the investment is covered by hard assets, 25% is administrative.
Okay. No, that's fair enough. So that's your like to have. What would be a shoestring budget? Meaning that, okay, if you get me this, I can still work with it and be able to operate in a scale.
$6 million.
Gotcha. So 1x or 2x that amount. So 6 or 12.
Right.
Gotcha. Fair enough. Let me get to work. I'll wait for those emails.